Doctor Who Episode 7, the one where Ncuti faces his greatest challenge yet. Pretending he's into women.
Morning, darling.
Morning, sweetheart.
They're even supposed to have a child together, and so things had to go a bit further.
Morning, sweetheart.
Very believable. He's probably had more passionate kisses with his gran. Even after the episode, Ncuti took to Instagram to say, I can't believe I haven't posted about this yet. Who else gagged? I certainly gagged. I can see why. Not only did he have to pretend which side of the fence he batted on, he had to pretend he liked Belinda. It's one thing to spin someone around for 36 seconds. It's entirely another to live with them. I doubt there's a man alive that I'd wish that on. Because no one's going to believe Ncuti can get with Belinda. Especially when you see his new merch. That's right, now he's got his own Barbie doll. And while we're going to ignore that it doesn't look anything like him, he was at least extremely excited, which is actually pretty dangerous with this toy. It doesn't even have a flared base, that's a health hazard. About $95 that is, you don't want the medical bills afterwards, I'm telling you.
Me and Ruby Sunday can now travel to the Malibu Dream House together.
Yeah, but why would you want to? Barbie and Ken were a couple. And yes, Greta Gerwig may be too miserable to realise, but no one is with you.
In the TARDIS. Oh my goodness! That is mad.
Oh, this one does have a flatted base. Notice how he's checking out its behind immediately. He's checking out that cutie Gatwa.
Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, it's the closest I'm gonna get to having my own baby.
Fade his mustache.
Got a mustache? He's barely got hair. Oh, that is I thought that was a smudge.
Unmistakably a Barbie doll, but me, which makes it better.
Everything's better when it's me. I'm not a narcissist, though. I just think that every room is better when I'm in it. And every person.
That jacket, I don't know how they've managed to make it like...
I don't know how they've managed to make material into a shape.
I wish I was this cool. I am the Barbie Doctor.
I love this timeline. Look, other people hate this timeline. I think it's glorious. The funniest possible outcome is what happens.
I am the Barbie Doctor.
Because no one else wanted to be. He's so happy with himself. Something which is integral to the show. You see, this episode is a limp cocktail of shameless lore dumping, shallow storytelling, and a truly baffling sense of self-satisfaction. It's a desperate exposition dump stitched together from scraps of nostalgia and noise. Exposition that doesn't make any sense, like the police come round and arrest you if you doubt the world. Gotta be honest, if they didn't want people to doubt the world, putting Ncuti in bed with Belinda. There are monks from the 1400s whose radar would be enough to pick that one up.
I'm sorry, Val!
But arresting people to stop doubt is destroyed in the episode when at the end it turns out the villain needs it.
The doubts are the whole point.
Why are we stopping the doubts, which is the point of the show? Even Doctor Who TV came out and said this episode delivered arguably the greatest and most horrifying jump scare in all of Doctor Who. Waking up next to the insufferable Belinda Chandra. A moment destined to haunt viewers' dreams. She contributes nothing. Marks 4 episodes in a row where this character is either sidelined or completely absent. I tell you what, if you think she's insufferable, contributes nothing, and is completely absent in the show, see what she's like in bed.
Don't go to work. Stay, stay, stay.
Like any good feminist. When she does get screen time, we're treated to scenes of her running off and screaming at the sky. Like I said, this was cringe-inducing and unintentionally hilarious. We also get the team of evil. I'm not letting them get away with it. Russell T Davies made sure we knew what they were.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that, of associating disability with evil.
After he told me he had a problem of writing disabled people as evil in his shows, I've been keeping an eye out. They've been popping up all over the 2 series. Evil scum. I didn't miss their little snide remarks.
We're not exactly the best bunch of spies, are we?
Are you ableist?
Or the fact that they've developed superpowers.
He's not disabled, so he literally can't see us. And if he can't see us, well, then we don't get seen.
You're invisible, can do anything. You can rob a bank, walk into any place, live for free in Buckingham Palace itself, and no one will know because they can't see you. You could live like kings. They live like that. Dirty filth.
Evil.
It turns out that in this show, their disability is entirely mental.
I'd have moved on friskier, but you seem very non-disabled to me.
Although my favourite marketing this week came from Russell T Davies himself, where as you can see, he says, "This is your spoiler warning." Hey, it's good for him to admit it, right? I was always going to spoil Doctor Who.
Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. This is your spoiler warning.
I'm going to spoil the universe, folks. I shouldn't be in it. It was a mistake from the gods for my DNA to mix together. I am the god of perversion. You will know me by my deeds. But I may have lied to you in this video, and for that, I can only apologise. Because there was one extra piece of Doctor Who marketing which clearly surpassed the rest. That is, and I promise you, this is not a joke. Well, it is, I'm just not faking it. The 24/7 live stream of Duggadoo on the Doctor Who channel. As I film this, it's still going. And yes, I have liked it. This is gold. If ever you're feeling down, if the world's getting too much for you, if you're just pissed off at the fact that other people exist, well... It's too much, folks. It's too much gold for one video. Oh, I don't know what I've paused on. That is a horrific creation. Duggadoo, the solution to all your problems. Especially as you can tell everyone at the BBC to dugger off. So join me as we enter Wish World, where it turns out once you get rid of the dregs of society, you actually end up back at civilization. Oh, if Conrad's the villain, why does everything he touches turn to gold? We start with the new Rani on horseback in Bavaria, 1865. Bavaria being where Munich is in Germany. So when she turns up at a lonely house in the middle of the woods, and the guy runs out, this guy is an absolute Chad. You just would not know it from looking at him, alright?
We thought no one was coming.
Ah, this is Bavaria in 1865. What are you doing here?
You're not the midwife.
Or one of the locals? You seem to have come from a faraway place. But she hears his baby crying, I'm just in time. And she confirms him to be the Chad he is.
But you were born lucky, a seventh son of a seventh son.
The guys in this family never miss. They have a perfect record.
With 7 sons of your own.
He has the most base gender fluid this side of Saturn. They don't care about equality, they want to prove they're superior. Of course we're not slowing down to let you pass, what do you mean? There's no special privileges in his balls. But she sees the 7th son is a baby.
We thought Jonas would be a wonderful name.
I think it's absolutely terrible.
Yes. She'd prefer a name like Bib-Bab-Bob-Bob. It's understandable you don't like civilized names, love, we get it.
Let me see.
No! This strange person from a far-off land comes into my house, insults me, and then wants to hold the child. No! She'd get the Sweeney Todd treatment. But for some reason, they let her handle the baby. Guy's watching from the corner like he's in a hotel room chair. There is no way this guy's genetic lineage had 7 sons 3 times in a row. No way. We're lucky his chin hasn't receded into his neck.
I think he needs a stronger name. Sturm und Drang, yeah?
I think he needs to sound like a retard. Apparently there's also a German literary movement, Storm and Stress, which of course cares about your feelings. Russell T Davies has never seen a shallow part of humanity that he doesn't want to turn into a story. The mother, though, his name isn't up to you.
I'm afraid it is, because I will be taking little baby.
I just want to point out the guy's reaction.
Now, he's all mine.
He's doing literally nothing. Of course, only the woman in the bed who's just given birth is like, you're not taking him. This guy doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't get a big club and start caving a freaking skull in, or start choking the life out of her in front of his wife. Like, he should have known she was dodgy just by looking at her, but no. He's got dangly bits and so he isn't allowed to actually take any actions.
Excuse me? I don't think so.
What are you gonna do? You're in bed, you can't do anything. This is the man's job.
Give me my child back, right now.
Or what? You gonna have a cat fight? What you gonna do, pull her hair?
Violette, isn't it?
Well, that guy just stands there. This woman's gonna steal my child. Oh, well, I guess I just better not do anything. It's like he's been given 7 words and not allowed to speak. You've got a rope there. You can string her up like she deserves. But instead, she talks to the mother. Well, you're Violet, aren't you? Kisses the baby on his forehead to take his powers. No, that's the plot. I don't know how it works either. Some may say writing a story about kissing babies to gain magical powers is a bit on the nose for the BBC. Yes, the children are where we get our true power from. Blows out. I know it looks like she's gurning, but she is blowing out. And her breath is so awful. The wife disintegrates into flowers. What Too Many Curries does for you. What she needed was good proper English food, not that foreign muck. You should have learned. And so now the husband has seen her murder his wife. Gonna do something, isn't he?
Witchcraft.
It's older than that, darling.
How is it, darling? Look, I don't care, darling, babe, sweetheart. I'm gonna cave your frickin' skull in.
Your child is the fountainhead of a power from beyond this universe.
I don't care. I'm gonna punch you in the face. I say, look at his gormless face. What a complete and utter tosspot. An absolute doormat. So he goes, no, boys, run. She's like, no, I'm not letting your other 6 sons leave. You need to waddle for your escape. She kisses the baby again and turns them into duck. And as we know, she has no power unless she kisses the baby. Cave a friggin' skull in.
And you, the 7th son of a 7th son.
You'd think he'd have more testosterone, really, wouldn't you? Instead, you've got a genetic abnormality who seems to enjoy watching his wife be the local trollop. I should have punched her in the face before she kissed it, really, shouldn't you? He's the only one where getting turned into something else was an improvement for him. So this is supposed to be the scary introduction to the Rani, who have absolutely no idea who she is, from classic Who, but she seems to be an insufferable bint. She walks off, though, talking about how in 160 years' time, they're gonna do a special wish for the world. That means for 160 years, she sits there with the baby. Baby doesn't age. None of this is explained. We skip 160 years into the future. Acting! Yes, he is in bed with Belinda. Probably explains why he's got other stuff on his mind.
Morning, darling.
Morning, sweetheart.
That's correct, they're both as bad as acting at each other. This is the one that happens when the BBC doesn't hire the best people for the job.
Morning, sweetheart.
Very believable. This guy would be so repressed he'd get excited pouring milk on his cereal.
Oh, this is nice. You and me. We stay here forever.
Why? We've wished for a living hell. You've got to spend eternity with Belinda.
John Smith and Belinda are the happiest married couple in the world. They have a beautiful daughter called Poppy.
The one saving grace about this is it's purely a fantasy, so she might actually do housework.
He goes to work, and traditionally she stays at home and does all the cooking and chats to her mother in the kitchen all day long.
Don't go to work. Stay.
And do what? Maybe you pick out some nicer wallpaper.
I've got to earn a living so that we can have a lovely life together.
There ain't enough money in the world, mate. Your best bet is to earn enough to build a bridge just so you can throw her off it. But then they have... This is supposed to be their child. No, I don't know how that works either. There is definitely something off in this picture. This would be just as unusual if I was the mother. The Choose is their classic TV remote, though. And it's the best character out of season 2.
Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning, Conrad.
Gotta watch that again just for the cringe.
Happy morning, Conrad.
Have to cleanse the palate after that one. That's better. Somehow less camp than the show. And so, well, this would have worked if you actually had an English family at this time. We had to have people pretend to act civilized.
Something that's a little bit 50s.
Instead, land at cringe. It will never stop being funny that the most horrific, evil fantasy world that Russell T Davies can think of is a traditional English culture happy nuclear family. He's like, oh.
Traditional, and when I say traditional, I mean bordering on wrong pattern of behaviour.
This could only exist in a nightmare realm. Not that it's likely to happen for him as he enters the colon of time. Explodes once more through the trans-dimensional portal of Japan's eye. And enters the director's persuasion tunnel. Conrad is telling a story with a Harry Potter-themed Doctor Who book. Even the direct pulled them up as throwing shade at J.K. Rowling for obviously ripping off her book cover. As Conrad is a rather despicable villain in Doctor Who will stop at nothing to push his horrific agendas, he's a guy with reprehensible morals and agendas.
That's my promise. Really nice weather all over the world. Happy morning, everyone.
Nice weather and a happy nuclear family. Not a divorce in sight. No single mothers here. Father's not even out committing crime. Reprehensible morals and agendas. Because he doesn't like filth. Absolutely wild.
It is, of course, really strangely traditional, and when I say traditional, I mean bordering on wrong pattern of behaviour.
Russell T Davies secretly complimenting J.K. Rowling. He's telling the story, though, of Doctor Who and the Deadly Witch. It's the start of the Doctor's story about how he ran away from the Time Lords.
Got so much to do. There's the laundry and shopping.
That's right, she's doing as little work as you'd expect, Belinda. I've got some laundry, so I'm going to put that in a machine. And then I've got the hard work of shopping. Oh, that'll be really strenuous for her. She got to do such hard work as choose between Dairy Lee or Kraft cheese slices. That'll be a challenge for her brain. She does have one hard job, though. Pretending that she's romantically interested in Ncuti. I'm surprised he's not recoiling. He's like, oh, you're a bacterial swamp. And everything in this is Conrad's wish world. So he wants them to be happily married with a child. We get to see Ncuti in normal clothes for the first time ever, wearing actual, proper, civilized fashion. I mean, hey, if this had been his Doctor Who outfit, maybe people would have actually watched the show. What's the key to English. English culture. Oh. Maybe Doctor Who is the Wish World. But tomorrow is May the 24th, and he takes a drink out of a fluorescent cup. Well, we find out this is the most based baby to have ever lived.
Mummy will cook a big pot of biryani. Is that nice?
No.
They should have just cut in, I want a full English, you stupid twat. It's a fry-up or nothing, love. The cup that was on the table smashes somehow, because the most intelligent person in that room is the child. I believe it, to be honest. Doctor, though, is a clumsy person. That's why you got so many identical cups. This comes out very similar to your average BBC director's house, except it's just bottles of lube. He puts the cup back down again, only to meet Ruby at the door.
Hi.
Oh no, are you my other fake wife? I'm not gonna have to pretend to be attracted to you as well, am I? Although, admittedly, that would be a lot easier.
Sorry about this. Do I know you?
I don't think so.
No one knows anything, everyone's got amnesia. Once we've been stripped from our previous hang-ups, it actually allows us to be moral, upstanding members of society.
Are you the Doctor?
What do you need a doctor? Is everything okay?
No.
It is very weird. She has amnesia, can't remember anything, but also knows that he's the Doctor, but doesn't know if she knows him. You know his name, that answers your question, doesn't it? He's not the Doctor, though, he's John Smith. And she's like, no, that's not your name. Oh no, it's another fake wife. Now, at this point, you could understand if Belinda came out and was like, who is this trollop? Although, again, this is a woman that's so stupid she doesn't know that daughter, it clearly isn't hers. You should have just had an English baby make it really wacky.
And you're John Smith's wife?
No. Although then again, maybe being his wife is realistic, because those two are definitely not having sex.
That's your daughter, but she's not...
Indian. I think that's what you're looking for.
Sorry, but you don't have a daughter.
Well, he might. It's she that doesn't. By this point in her life, she would definitely realise the hospital switched out the babies. We're switching them for diversity.
I beg your pardon.
That's him acting disgusted. Suppose there's a first time in his life for everything. I didn't think he had that response. Belinda, though, is a grass, and she goes to tell, I don't think it's police, let's just say the authorities, that there's trouble on the doorstep.
Did you say Ruby?
I've always liked minerals. Obviously, things are falling into place, meeting people from a past life. On a hot day, seeing Steve across the road doing gardening. Come here, Belinda, have a look at him using that axe.
Yes. Hello. I have someone expressing doubt.
Oh no, you have a problem with doubt, you're gonna have to call the police on the viewers. Ruby, though, runs off. There's orange bins on the street with the word slip on them, for when you doubt. Ah, it's an Easter egg! How many companions can you fit into one episode where they don't do anything? We've added one more.
No, don't speak to her.
You don't know where she's been.
You're Carmel.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
No.
The Doctor, though, chases her off. We see that she has quite a lot of doubts about the world. To be honest, living next to Ncuti and Belinda as a married couple, that's gonna happen. I do like this move from Ncuti.
Never mind. Best forgotten.
Oh, nice to see him civilized for once in his life.
Never mind.
This should have been his outfit for the series, not all that other twaddle. This is the expression that he uses when he's interested in listening to some gossip. Because he asks her, what are your plans for tomorrow, May the 24th?
Oh, you know, I'm single.
Well, maybe if you'd focused on getting married younger rather than a career, it would have been better for you, love.
No parents, no children, so I will sit in silent contemplation.
Based.
Economy.
I'm telling you, if Conrad's the villain, why is everything perfect? I also would have accepted the answer, going for a game of bowls or croquet.
And be jolly glad.
So you should. Conrad seems to have fixed the world, except for the giant dinosaur bone gods that don't serve a purpose in the episode. I'm not joking, I don't know what they're for. I think it's just a, lol, so random, wouldn't it be good if we had some dinosaur bone gods? Well, that's all they do. That's the story of them on the screen. They exist. I don't know how it makes noise. It doesn't have vocal cords. That's a muscle, not a bone. Russell T Davies probably thinks they can still reproduce, but that's not actually a bone either.
Aren't they beautiful?
When he's married to Belinda, I guess he's got good beer goggles. There's also a bone tower in the middle of the city on legs. That's not explained either. In fact, at the end, that'd be a liability. If it was just flying, that would be one thing, but these legs are still on the ground, which vanishes, so would still fall into the void. I don't know.
How can anyone doubt this glorious world that we live in?
In what way? No one would doubt it exists because you're in it. I'm not even really sure what they're doubting, that it's the world that they should be in. We briefly cut over to Conrad, who's talking about the Doctor having human friends, and then we see that Conrad has basically cured London. This is the exact world that I've asked for repeatedly, that we should bring back everyone in suits, bowler hats. I did ask for a cane, but I will accept an umbrella, as it is England. Briefcases. The only change I would have made is bringing capes back, just because I want to be able to make a dramatic exit. Apart from that...
And travelled with him.
What is not to like? There's less people, no one's rushing, no one talks like, why, man, I'm going off up there in the road, in it like, bruv. We're just finally back to English civilization.
So they could go and fall in love, marry, and have babies.
What an evil twat. Imagine marrying and having babies. Really is Russell T Davies' nightmare scenario. Ugh, women have cooties.
He's such a normal human in a very sterilized, stifled world.
English culture. It seems to be what this entire episode is based in. Just his disgust for normal families. Ooh. They pee out of there, that's disgusting. Ruby, though, is stalking the doctor. Don't know why. Must know she doesn't have a chance.
But he travelled on with bravery in his heart.
And he's so happy. Who wouldn't be happy to have a cane you can, like, flick in the air and stuff?
Next best friend.
Ethan, mate.
There is problems in the world. Still got useless scroungers on the streets that really should have been taken care of, shouldn't they? Can't we call the authorities shift this scum off the streets as well? We're gonna maintain our perfect civilization, you can get rid of that. He's in unit headquarters, though, and there's signs on the wall. When in doubt, don't. That's the kind of complex propaganda that Russell T Davies is scared of while working for the BBC. Don't worry, Jim will fix him. We get a weird bit about how he's even on time, he's almost late.
Another 2 minutes and you'd have been late.
I did work late last night.
That's not the response I would have used. I'm on time, love. You can tell me I'm late in another 2 minutes.
Time carries no favours.
But this is the BBC, they hate private businesses. I think that's what this message is. Why can't everyone just steal money from the population like the BBC? That's the utopian vision. We find out that the other Rani is downgraded again back to tea lady like she was in season 1.
Now, milk, no sugar, Mr. Smith.
I don't know. Do we really think that Ncuti Gatwa would drink white tea? Is he so thirsty that that would balance out the inherent destructive nature of the power dynamics involved of having an English drink?
Digestives, bourbons, and nice vanilla wafers.
Vanilla wafers are ass, and they always have been. We wanted a bourbon. She, though, she still as insufferable as ever. She's like, oh, no one's going to be shouting. It's not a public holiday yet.
But that's tomorrow.
Knowing glance between the two of them, I know you have a taste for absolutely insufferable Vince. No one knows why. She's twice your age, you're out of her league, and she has the personality that could strip paint. But this was Russell T Davies. He doesn't know what a good couple looks like. Not really his area. Conrad is talking about how all the Time Lords were killed, and Cutie's playing matchmaker.
I've heard she likes Chinese food. Kate swears by it, loves it.
Send her to China then? Wouldn't really be fair on them as they'd have to put up with her, but at least she'd be somebody else's problem.
But what am I going to say? Can we go out to dinner? Just you and me?
Only if you're gonna eat her with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
If you two got together, she wouldn't have to work. It's undignified. You would be saving her.
Found his angle. Please, for everything that's holy, get with her so she doesn't have to work and we don't need her as a boss. That's how you know he's the doctor. That is smart. I also think this is supposed to be a dig, but all I was thinking... based.
Economy.
Once again, Conrad knocks it out the park. He has fixed modernity by just rolling all the laws back 150 years, where they belong. What do you mean? If she gets married, she doesn't have to slave away at a job anymore and can stay at home having babies? Oh, the horror, Russell. The horror.
Way out of my league. Oh, she's not. You're a beautiful man.
Now, because Conrad has made the perfect world, this has been Russell T Davies trying to make him evil. But because he's not very smart and he's an ideological lunatic, he can't understand evil as a concept or morality as a concept. All he understands is, do you agree or disagree with me? And so, he's made everyone allergic to rainbows.
Is that supposed to... no.
Uh-oh. This is the one time I'm in danger. I may be married to a woman, but someone's just realised I've been...
receiver of swollen goods.
And it's just a really awkward way of doing the scene.
You're a man. How can you find another man beautiful?
They don't even have the word for it, despite it coming from Conrad. But this came from nowhere. The last time we saw Conrad, he had absolutely no problem with this. It seems to only have been added in because Russell wanted another way of going, oh, look at this, it's evil. And he gets more attention than anything else. If it wasn't for that cup breaking, the scene would have continued. But even with that, you kind of have to ask, well, what's the problem? What if someone not liking what you do in the privacy of your own home is that big a deal to you? Grow up, basically. And I think there's a very good argument to be made that you shouldn't be talking about who you want to bang in the workplace as it is. Yeah, if Ncuti went around in the workplace telling everybody, he's like, oh, look at the ass on that. Maybe don't, and leave that for outside the work environment, eh? Because this is the only time it happens. There could just be this one guy in a work environment. He slips, though, in his cup. White this time. Falls through the floor. Conrad still telling stories. The doctor wished he had a companion by his side. Yeah, but not that one, eh? It's a weird story to tell when he's living with her, though, isn't it? Unfortunately, Belinda are about to face a living hell of her own. Fate worse than death, this. Actually, now I can understand why the odd one might want to go to work.
24th tomorrow. Won't that be fun? No.
It seems like the kid is the smartest one among all of them, knows exactly what's going on, tells them, but can only say no for some reason. There have been rumors that she's the timeless child, or the other baby is the timeless child. That if the baby that controls this world is the doctor, that would actually fit into the story of why it's important that the doctor doubts the world more than anyone else. We're all in a living hell at this point. I just find it funny that if she does know everything, she's just sitting there, can't be bothered to tell anybody.
She is getting cheeky.
Throw her in a curry. At that point, though, the world just keeps getting more and more perfect.
Plenty of time to drum that out of her.
We're gonna have to raise her properly, because that's evil. I'm not even joking. This episode really proves the BBC are evil. Because whether they want to make a hell dimension, well, just listen to it.
Good little girl, then good little wife, then good little mother.
Sounds horrific. Look, they even got her to laugh as if, no, I'm not gonna be any of those. I'm gonna be a sad, depressed, middle-aged, lonely wench on SSRIs. That's my lot in life. I'm gonna slave away at a corporate job in a cubicle for next to no money where I can't even buy my own house. That's the lot in life I want. I want so the only use for my ovaries is scientific experiments. Because everything in life is a trade-off. So when everything happens in the... You have to ask, as opposed to what? Oh, it's disgusting these people are in a nuclear family. What? Or...
And as Conrad says, that's what we're here for.
As opposed to what? Listen again.
Girl, then good little wife, then good little mother.
So if that's not what you're here for, you want to be a bad little girl, not a wife, and have no kids. That's not an upgrade. That's just Russell T Davies's life projected onto the screen. Anything that isn't him must be an abomination.
And Conrad is never wrong.
Projection. Just can't stand normal people being happy. And so he projects it in his show as an abominable lifestyle. They talk about her labor though, 24 hours. Do you remember? It's like, no, I don't remember anything. I couldn't even remember being in labor at all.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's that easy. I whine about it all the time. It's nothing like getting kicked in the balls. And this proves it. She can't even remember doing it.
The birth of your only child? Every mother remembers.
Well, not that one. I mean, it was just such a piece of piss for her. Basically popped out for a Kit Kat. So not being able to remember giving birth to a child which obviously isn't hers. A lot of Indian blood in that.
What was it like, Pops?
What? Are we asking a baby what it was like to be born? Oh, do you remember coming out my minge? Gotta be pretty horrifying, doesn't it? You're just getting squashed on all sides.
Remember, day of your birth.
Are you retarded? Do you remember the day of your birth? Oh no, she smashed another cup again. She can't stop doubting though, and this means she has to handle problems the way any normal woman would, apparently. Look, it's 2025. There's a lot of nutcases. So she runs off across the fields. I'm not joking. The hills are alive with the sound of music. She goes into the forest. You may have seen this before. Actually looks very similar to Clarkson's farm. Yeah, we're gonna relieve stress. We're gonna run out into this fields and scream. If only Ncuti had been home to keep her in line, eh? He pops out for one day of work, she completely loses it. Do we act like normal human beings? No. Go to a field and scream. Imagine how bad she'd scream if he had any actual problems. That's the perfect life. Still isn't happy. At this point, can we finally just admit it's her fault? Conrad, though, starts talking about how the Doctor wasn't the only one left. There was another Time Lord. Doesn't mean the Master. We've forgotten about him.
The only one left. A Time Lady had survived.
That's him with his bigotry again. I think he means a female presenting Time Lord.
We've got all that power, but there is a way to get rid of it. Something a male presenting Time Lord will never understand.
At that moment, though, the Rani appears, and she's on a very strange contraption. A tool which I'm glad Conrad put in this world.
Come on, it's...
Oh no, I just bumped into her. It was love at first assault. She may be a miserable arse around the office, but finally now she's found someone willing to put her in her place.
It is an honour to get a sighting.
It is an honour, look, because she's flying around on a Hoover. Finally, Conrad putting her on something useful. He's even got the Rani under control. We see her cleaning up London's pollution. I, for one, fully support her doing the housework. She brings in an important item, though.
Dead pink fat.
I think you mean pig fat, not pink fat. She's like, oh, we don't eat that over here. I tried to give him some biryani, but he wanted solids.
Is that a salad or a sandwich?
The place just keeps getting more based. Every time you think you've hit perfection, we ascend a bit further. I never thought we'd return to the days of getting them discussing who's going to make him the sandwich. I tell you what, why don't you both make him one? You don't have to fight. You can both do your duty. This isn't Wish World, this is Based World. This is paradise. Over in the tower, though, they've got Evanescence fans counting the level of doubt on the planet.
We're even getting 9s this time of the day.
And 9s are good. The more doubt we've got, the better. So why have we made a culture of people trying to suppress doubt? Why are there posters on the walls that you can't doubt? Stop it. Why do we have people phoning up to report that somebody is doubting something when they can track it here anyway? No, Russell T Davies didn't think it through. That's why. It's not a plot hole, he's just thick.
9996999.
Probably put some moisturizer on that, love.
And you shall find. Sandwich, obviously.
Based. Even when they're in charge of Conrad, he can still get him to make him a sandwich. This is the perfect world. She's not happy though. Do this, do that. Yes, no, yes, no. Understandable. She used to have some self-respect. And she got race swapped.
Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Can I cut your toenails, ma'am?
I don't even know why she can see her feet in the first place, to be honest. She goes, though, to visit Conrad. And it seems he's not treated very well.
Hi. It's been ages.
Or he may be the evil mastermind, but he's very sensitive, you see. It's his fragile masculinity. He's concerned, though. Is everything okay out there? Is it working? And for a split second, you do kind of wonder if he's Belinda.
Such a lot of hard work. All the thinking.
Yeah, and he's used to it. Imagine how Belinda would struggle. She had a thought once, but it died of loneliness. But it's because he has to keep everything in his mind solid at all times. If he stops thinking about the weather, suddenly London will flood. Like I say, it's the perfect world. Mommy issues. It is surprising how Russell T Davies, spending so much time with men, doesn't understand them at all. It's like completely beyond him. Says, you're doing a very, very good job. Would I lie? Well, yes, actually, but not this time. She tells him why they found him in the first place, why they chose him. And I think they're lying.
Who wants the world to be better?
I don't think it's why they chose him. I know Russell T Davies is a lunatic. He's too ideological not to take another dig. I think they're going to say something like, because he's an evil, white, male podcaster, he's great at creating his own fantasy worlds. Because that's what he did, talking into a microphone, spreading misinformation. But what made him so good at it is he believed his own lies. The stories that he made up, he convinced himself of. And that's why he was the perfect person to create a wish world, to live in a land of his own delusions. At no point will Russell T Davies realise this is projection. I guess we'll find out if I'm correct on Saturday. They talk about the baby though. He's smiling, and you know he's evil because he's European with blue eyes. It's the baby's power that sustains the world. The BBC could have chosen everything, but they really, really wanted a minor on set. Oh yeah, and he's a god. If that thing turns out to be the Timeless Child, it really is going to be nuking Doctor Who on your way out the door, isn't it? It's like, haha, look what I've done to it. Clean up that mess. Won't be a problem for me, I'm already going out the door.
He's amazing, isn't he?
That was delivered with all the creepiness I would expect of a BBC presenter holding a child.
He's terrifying.
He's absolutely terrifying.
Ah, the product of a man and a woman getting together. The scariest thing known to Russell. Cut over to the Rani, though, holding the Vindicator. For some reason, it just plugs onto her clock. It was nice of the Doctor to put a USB-C port on it, so that it was just compatible with many devices. She says this gives them a temporal fix, which is weird when it gives them a temporal fix for the 24th, which is just there tomorrow anyway, which they travel into naturally. I don't know why they need it.
When you've got time. You said make him a sandwich.
Based. Go make him another one. With that, though, they go to prime the trap. Using the Sonic, she makes all these balls appear on top of the door. Was it good for you too? But the other one is babying the other one. She's like, I'm not a child.
You sprang from my loin. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Whoa, imagine falling out of that. It would be like getting breastfed by your granny. Probably wouldn't have any long-term side effects. You just Prefer your milk past its sell-by date. Yes, though, what's the doctor's doubt on? Well, he's getting there. It's at 30%.
Sunset at 2058, and that's when his thinking intensifies.
What? The doctor starts thinking more after dark. What? Why? Because he can commit more crime under the cover of darkness. What is even the reason for that? I'm pretty sure I know what's going on in the doctor's head at all times. No, not the song. He's looking at that beacon thinking, whoa. The Rani, well, not the Rani, the Rani. Not confusing, it's not bad writing. It's not an inability to understand how the English language works. Oh, it must be the audience which is wrong. It says, when the doubts rise, we will find he who is lost. And that's when our work begins. Outside the building, though, we've got Ruby. And the dinosaur bones are about to step on her. This could be entertaining. No, rather than squashing all the people, they just stand still and get sort of cloak of invisibility with the foot. Just think of the useless characters it could have crushed to death. We could have wiped out the villains right now.
Weird, isn't it?
Like they're there, but not there.
With insight like that, I could understand how you got a job at UNIT. Well, kind of like it's not there. Ruby, though, realizes she's talking to one of the most evil identity groups of all time, according to Russell T. Davies.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that of associating disability with evil.
You don't want to be around him. He's always had a problem with this. You can't help but write him as evil.
Sorry, I don't suppose you could spare us a couple of quid, could you?
Oh, and the scroungers as well. Roll her down a hill.
No, I shouldn't be talking to you. This isn't right.
It is morally incorrect to talk to her. Based Russell comes out again.
Associating disability with evil.
The problem is her memory goes, hang on, weren't you insufferable in UNIT at some time? Didn't you know a child which started shooting people out of his wheelie bin? Now, because they know each other, she takes them home. I'm using that word in the loosest possible sense. It seems to be a place full of degenerates and scum.
Evil.
It's how we live.
Yeah, remember, this is the perfect world, and Russell's like, quick, shove them down an alley. Just want to take note of the different people in the background as we find out who they are.
The disabled, dispossessed,
and the degenerate.
the ones who don't fit in.
That's what I said.
I've never seen this place before.
Look, they've even got a wrestler in the background.
Sure have, you walk past it every day.
But of course she walks past it every day. Who would stop? Who would see this and think, yeah, I'm going in there, that looks fun? The way Russell writes these characters, there won't have been a greater concentration of evil in the entire world. He grouped them all together so he can nuke them, probably.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that.
And you ignore us.
Based. Wish this episode had.
How do I know you?
Wait. Which D does that fit in? I'm not sure we can trust these people together. Oh, look, that's an interesting plastic sheet in the corner. And the tent. This is a bit like when I found out Ncuti got snowbanned. I wasn't degenerate enough to know what it meant. I just knew it meant something. And Russell wants kids next to it. Maybe he was right.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that of associating disability with evil.
And you ignore us.
Look, with sites like that, you can understand why they ignore them. It's as much to benefit you as everybody else. You over there, though, they use different cops.
We get ignored.
Good. Dirty, thieving scroungers from what I've seen.
Or forgotten and irrelevant, and that's the way the world is.
Based. Like I said, this world is perfect in every way, shape and form. It really has made a paradise. She says, though, sometimes we have glimpses into other lives.
Can remember something, then gone.
A glimpse of a better world.
Oh, come on. There's no way that you live even there and then get a glimpse of actual London and think, oh, that's amazing, that is. Look at the filth on the street. It's great.
Yeah, but you're different from us, like. Pardon me if I don't frisk you, but you seem very non-disabled to me.
Pardon, love, but you're clearly different than us. Your legs work. She's getting condescended bigotry from someone in a chair. Need to be careful about that, love. If she rolls you down the road, there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, but despite that, you're the same as us.
Maybe she's mentally feeble as well.
You keep having doubts about the world.
No, everybody has doubts about the world. That's what all those bins were at the start. It's where people stored the cups because they had doubts about the world, and you're like, oh my, only the thick, stupid, evil people can understand doubt. Ruby, though, says it's about the doctor. I feel like I've lived through this before, which she hasn't. 73 yards. I know the future isn't meant to be like this. Instead, I should be in an apartment on my own, lonely and drinking with SSRIs. That was her future.
I've seen 2025 and it was different.
It was way worse. Wasn't a paradise then.
And I tried telling my mum and my gran.
Why? Her mum wouldn't know what the current 2025 year is, let alone a parallel dimension.
You can't say things like that. A foster child can't listen to doubt.
What I'd expect. Social consensus machine. Doesn't want to say anything that might jeopardize advisor benefits.
There is something wrong with you, my girl.
Imagine getting told there's something wrong with you by that. Someone who has a terminal case of laziness. Still hasn't moved into a free second house that was offered to her in episode 1, probably because making her own tea would be too much work for her. So they call the authorities on her that she's been expressing doubts, despite doubt being exactly what they want to happen. So that phone doesn't make any sense. We get, though, a bit of signing.
We live outside the world, so we can see it better.
What? You don't live outside the world, you just can't be bothered to clean your own pissing houses. You decided to live under a bridge like the trolls you are. As though we can see when things don't make sense, like, we don't have a penny, but we've got all of this equipment.
But I've got this wheelchair, state of the art.
Don't know about that one, love. Doesn't look state of the art to me. You've got ones with built-in motors that travel up the road faster than I do. And that's a downgrade for you. Your previous one had rockets in. And she says, oh, I need medicine, but I'm fine.
And I've got nothing, but I'm okay.
Yeah, that's because Conrad is a kind, generous, and benevolent god who actually made the perfect world for you. Yeah, I am ill, but actually, I'm in perfect health. That doesn't make sense. I need to get rid of it.
I think these things are like fossils or relics.
Maybe you should leave the thinking to somebody else, love. This guy can make a perfect world of wishes, and you just happen to drag your wheelchairs with you. The power of a god. The only thing he can't defeat is the BBC diversity department laws. Oh, we can't not give him chairs. Look, we may be evil, but we're not a bigot.
Ryan, tell me your theory.
Oh, this ought to be good. Is it that Maltesers have a secret plan to take over the universe?
Comes down to Conrad Clark.
Keep having thoughts about him too.
I bet you do, love. Like, whoa. I remember when he was in control of me before, let alone now. Her memories are going to be like The Handmaid's Tale.
I don't trust him for a second.
Although that's probably her type, let's be honest.
Oh my god, you too.
Oh no, you were with him too. He said he was going to tie me up. I was like, look, there's no point in that. It's not as if I'm going anywhere.
I don't know why or how, but Conrad Clark is a monster.
They're like, yeah, he's a white man, 'cause he is way. I knew he was evil when I found out he was into women. That was the key for me. Another one spoken out against the English. You're so stunning and brave.
Everything that's wrong revolves around Conrad.
Of course it does, mate. Can't be you. You can't be responsible for your own lives. The English, they oppressed you.
What can you tell from, like, the sound of his voice?
I knew he was hiding something. What, do you have any reason to believe that?
Being blind gives you magical powers.
Look, in Doctor Who, you never know, alright? They did say being deaf makes you immune to magical creatures, so...
He's not disabled, so he literally can't see us. And if he can't see us, well, then we don't get seen.
Why do you live like cretins, then? If he can't see you, so you don't get seen, which means you now have the power of invisibility, why don't you actually do something useful with it? You could move into Buckingham Palace, and they wouldn't stop you. You could get money from anywhere, live anywhere, and you decided to all group together with your local degenerate society of filth and evil and just whine about how awful your lives are rather than doing something to fix it. I mean, this is top quality. Help me, I'm oppressed. I just want to be given everything from everybody else. Syndrome, you scum.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that.
He's like king and ruler and emperor and god.
Based. What an absolute Chad. And what did he do with his unlimited power? Oh yeah, he made the perfect world. That was his crime there. Fixing London.
How did Conrad become god of the earth?
Skill. Talent, because the only alternatives were you lot, and he's just objectively better than all of you. The possibilities are endless. I mean, look, it was either a choice between Conrad or that. Let's face it, she would just make the world out of Oreos, and it would be gone before the day's out. But she asked Ruby what she thinks. Like, what about?
We don't sit here all day complaining.
Yeah, you do. If you didn't, you wouldn't live in a back alley full of dirt and despair.
Evil. And trust me, there's a very long tradition of this.
We've got plans.
We're not going to do anything about them, but we've been planning.
We're going to bring down God. You with us?
That's exactly what I would have expected. No, we don't sit here complaining. Occasionally, we try to drag down our betters to our level. We're not going to do anything to improve our own situation, despite the fact we have superpowers. We're just jealous and bitter and want to bring them down to our level of filth so that we can feel better about ourselves. This group is the villains of the show. And she's like, oh, I've always wanted to be evil. I'm so in. My ancestors have been evil for at least 150 years, trying to bring down society. You have pink hair. Or is that just the lighting? The Doctor, though, is watching the TV. He's listening to a story about how the Rani knows a secret hidden away about the Time Lord. A secret so old and terrible that everyone forgotten the secret existed. But then, at that point, it's Rogue. He fell through the darkness into a different dimension. Ncuti let him. I actually thought that in the second series, he would go around the universe trying to find Rogue and save him. He just forgot. Never bothered once. He's let him sit there in a hell dimension and suffer.
I haven't got much time. They're coming.
Who's coming? Where did you find a webcam in a hell dimension? And how did you transmit it to a TV? There's so many problems.
I don't know if I'm gonna survive. Thank you for that.
It was entirely his fault. The doctor is evil. But he says, I have to warn you. I have one message for you. Tables, don't do that. Tables, don't do that.
More than that, I love you.
How can you love him? You met him for about 20 minutes.
I love you.
You're not even supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be the other ones that get the U-hauls out after 20 minutes. Belinda, though, wakes up. She keeps hearing things smash in the other room. Is my husband banging Rogue next door? And when she goes out to check him, though, he's lined up all the cups and he's focusing on them. Using all of his brain power, Ncuti can just about count to 10.
What are you doing?
Counting to 10. Look, there's 10 of them. But what he's realised when he focuses really hard.
Why don't you come to bed?
Oh, yeah, that was never going to convince him. If he's already having doubts about the world, asking him to come and look at your minge isn't going to make it any better. He's realised he can smash the cups at will, though. She's like, yeah, that's what they do. This is the world. And it is, so I don't know why he would be shocked by it. He's like, oh, the tables don't do that. It's like, the tables have been doing that your entire life, as far as you know, in this world. So he shouldn't be shocked by it. But he is. Because Russell T. Davies can't keep a plot straight in his own head.
That's a slip. That's what happens.
She's right. And he's like, no, look again, I can do it again. So he gets loads of cups this time. He's like, look, there's 5 of them.
How do they slip? It's just the way the world, John. Now stop it.
Yeah, they fall through the table. Tables don't do that, but they do in this world. Like with any movie, suspension of disbelief, there are some things that happen in their universes that don't happen in ours. All of his memories say that this is how the world works, so he shouldn't find it shocking. But he starts saying, there's a guy on the TV, he was talking to me, and then he flashed me his arsehole. He said, tables don't do that.
He's right, that is not what tables are supposed to do.
This is one of the main reveals of the episode, that cups don't go through tables. I was very impressed. That's right, Belinda's pissed. She's realised he's got a fancy man on the television. He's like, hang on. I knew there was a reason why you kept asking me to face the other way. Can't we just do it normally this time? No, never.
There was a man on the TV, and I really liked it.
I took one look at him as like, whoa. Immediately all the cups on the tables went on the floor. Not because they went through it, he just lifted up his end. Oh no. My husband has cheated on me. I'm gonna have to... Oh, that is a shot and a half. Houston, we have a thumbnail. My face when I'm shopping my husband to the police. But she realised her husband was having an affair with a guy on the TV. Immediately gets him arrested. Hell hath no fury than a woman that realised she's just not your type. That causes the bobbies to turn up. And despite the fact they need him to have doubts, raid the place.
Doubting anything I had a question.
I just had questions, not doubts. My question was, do you like the look of my Gatwa? So they arrest him. She's crying at the door despite the fact that you can't cry if you shop somebody. You made your decision, you're not actually upset about it. What, you're upset that you feel guilty about it?
I'm very upset. I am sorry, Val.
But she's not actually upset, because if she was, she wouldn't have done the action in the first place. The thing is, though, she's about to get what she deserves as well, as they come for her. They bring her mum in to look after the kid.
Get off me. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I only wanted to shop my husband in and send him off forever. I didn't think it might have consequences for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. You get what your pissing deserve, love. Once again, Conrad created the perfect world. Belinda getting what she deserves. I know a lot of people don't like this episode, but there is a lot of justice being dished out.
You recognized your husband's doubt because you didn't doubt yourself.
That doesn't make any sense. The cups were going through the table. When one smashes, it's a doubt. Russell, it's one episode. You can't even keep your own story straight. But then she starts describing feminism.
It contaminates, it breeds, it festers.
Like, yeah.
And it's my job to cut it out.
If only we had phone call. Hang on, I'm sorry. Look, you won't even make me a sandwich.
My job and my very great pleasure.
We've all been there, love. Now, at this point, we've got Ruby and 2 evil people pretending that they can hide. Yeah, there was no way they were going to spot you, was there? Do you notice they weren't even hiding behind the pole? It went past them and they're just arrayed by the side. No one will spot the 2 people in wheelchairs. But don't worry, they agilely stealth their way across the street. Oh, look at him go, Speedy Gonzales. Well, I would have had one of them with a squeaky wheel. The only thing that could have improved the scene. Come on. I think you need some WD-40.
We're not exactly the best bunch of spies, are we?
Are you ableist?
I don't even know what that means. It's just a fact. Yeah, you can barely get across a road. The only time you'd have an advantage is downhill. The proof that you're not great spies is that I could foil your entire plan by asking you to reverse. You ain't getting up those steps, love, are you? Yes, there's lots of things that normal people can do that you wouldn't be able to in a wheelchair. I actually thought that was your complaint. That, no, I'm just the same as you. Okay then, stand up.
We locked up for doubting the sisters.
Stop worrying you.
That's That's easy for her to say. Ruby would get locked up for doubting the system. The wheelchair people are invisible. Like, stop worrying, I'm invisible. It's only you that get in trouble. What a selfish git. She does, however, have a tablet that she doesn't know what one is. Now, for some reason, their tablet, despite not being from this realm or having any information about it, can target Conrad in his bone sphere magically.
I think that means Conrad's broadcasting from up there.
You have no idea what it means. You don't even know how the tablet knows. But there is an even better trick. We can just see over the right-hand side of the screen. There's nothing here. They're not holding anything. There's 2 wheelchairs, 3 people, and a tablet. But the next thing, we get a tablet view, and then...
I think that means Conrad is...
Where did the tripod come from? I didn't know what a tablet was a second ago. Now they've got a tripod with a phone holder on it for it. You pull that one from your arse. But they say, if this tablet can track him, maybe it can cut off the signal. They have no reason to think that. No idea how to do it. And I don't know why it'd work, but apparently that's their entire plan. To block the signal so he comes down to look for it and then kidnap him or something. They'd be like, whoa, I've always wanted to get with a god.
That's all I need. If I can just meet Conrad, if I can look him in the eye.
If I could just bang him one more time, maybe I could get closure. Yeah, she'll remember, all right. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Belinda are crossing the threshold. They pull guns to force him over it, although as he goes through it, nothing happens. So then he tells her, you can just come across, it's fine, nothing happens.
I never doubt you, Belinda.
Doesn't matter if you doubt her, it's about whatever that threshold does that's your problem. I don't doubt you. I know with 100% clarity I wouldn't be interested. So they get brought in front of the Rani. After this point, she just jumps into telling him everything, calling him the Doctor. I need you to come back, Doctor.
Remember? Oh, come on, we go way back.
You actually can't pull this because she's not been in New Who. And you can argue that it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect that people have watched from Eccleston onwards. Definitely wouldn't be unreasonable to assume people have seen all the episodes of one Doctor actor. But going, look at this character from 40 years ago, might be pushing it a bit far. Just a tad. Do you remember me? No. Or you're going to tell us who you are? No. The entire characterization we get for her is, I want to destroy the world after making it perfect. Which does seem a little bit more cruel, to be honest. If she hadn't made it a paradise first and then said she was going to destroy London, I could have understood. So she takes him around the room to open up his memory, shows him the seal of Raslod. I'm like, why is that there? Why was it so important to you that you're like, Conrad, imagine this in my room. She goes over to the goth, though, and go, look, these seek out the doubts. Don't you ever wonder where your TARDIS is? And Belinda's like, please just let us go. We've got a child back home. I promise if you let us go back to our child, we will never mention this again.
No, you haven't. Got a child.
I don't know why this is news to her. Do you have eyes? It would be just as unusual if that was your child as if I was.
You haven't got a child.
I mean, duh. I imagine Conrad's actually quite up on genetics. She should know this.
That girl, she said...
Yes, that's it. You remember?
Why would he not remember? That wasn't even from his past life. That happened today. In this world. They never said the doubts wipe your memory of them. But she's so excited Aura's remembered Ruby. I'm like, yeah, she turned up on his door today. But as his doubts increase, the time gets closer to May the 24th.
What's it doing? It's telling us the time.
Yeah, tablets always have a clock on them, love. But in her tiny little mind...
Why that's so important?
I don't know why time's important. I don't have a job, you see, so normally I just walk around doing whatever I want at any time. Then we get to see her Sonic. Don't worry, definitely not merch. They wouldn't do that. Disney never puts things in their shows to make merch. Although if they did want merch, I don't know why they made it like that. It looks hideous. It even looks cheap and tacky in the show. Oh, I forgot about this bit. This happens for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Not into you, Rani. You may be a female presenting Time Lord and he may be a male presenting Time Lord. That's why he's not interested in you. Have you ever seen someone look so horrified at the proposition, oh no, I'm gonna have to get with her? And so, as his wife watches...
Be done.
Which one's gonna lead? That's the question. Rani's probably got more balls than him, let's be honest.
Danced once upon a time at the siege of Persephone.
I don't think it was this one, though, judging by the fear in his eyes. Oh no, I've got to touch a woman.
People said we were lovers.
Definitely it wasn't Ncuti then, was it? Although if you continue to put makeup on with a trowel, people might have just got the wrong idea about you and assumed. So this dancing scene just goes on for no reason. I'm trying to bring back his memory and we danced once and so I had a dancing scene in it with this dancing queen.
Yes.
We go through images of the previous actress.
A different face.
You didn't have this really weird thing going on with your hair either at the time.
So did you, a long time ago.
You had very different tastes back then. She says, we were never enemies. Every villain you fought wanted death, except Conrad, who made a paradise, and Ncuti still hates it. But she wanted life. Maybe from the doctor, I don't know. You definitely ain't gonna get it from this one. In fact, if you do want him to impregnate you, not bringing his memories back is key. But she gazes into his eyes, and this is probably a position he's never been in with a woman before.
My name is Rani.
Ew, you're like a bacterial swamp.
No.
And so, the look of fear in his eyes as he realised, hang on, I just danced with a woman. His memories start coming back to him. He's like, no. And she steps forwards, I am also the Rani. I fully expected her to get, like, backhanded round the face. No, you're a Rani. I'm the Rani. I'm the definite article. I thought they'd play their language games. They don't. I was quite disappointed, actually.
We are both the Rani.
Again, contradicting the last episode. Terrible at keeping a narrative going that makes sense. But no matter how messed up a plot goes, you can always rely on Belinda to be the smart one. Even in the darkest time, she gets together her 25 IQ and drops an absolute banger.
What the hell are you saying?
Never scared to be the idiot in the village, that one.
Sounds like one of Conrad's stories.
Not from any we've seen, it doesn't. He says, though, your husband is an alien and so am I. He may be an alien, but is he illegal? That's an important question.
We are the last Time Lord and the last Time Lady from...
Wait. Are you telling me that because she's a scientist, she actually knows the difference between a Time Lord and a Time Lady? Because you didn't before, did you? I'm everything and nothing and more. Seems what we have here is an IQ gap. No, I don't want to hear the truth because then I'm going to realise all the horrific stuff I've done to Belinda. Fate worse than death, that one. There isn't enough brain soap in the world.
Is a lie. This whole world is a waste.
I don't know why she's shimmying as she's walking backwards. It's very difficult to take a villain seriously and find them scary when they're doing a shimmy.
What are you even talking about?
That's normally Belinda's line. But as he's on his knees, like a good little boy, submitting to his betters.
Darling, I know this is hard.
Darling, oh, darling. You can't be an intimidating villain, say darling. Not unless you're a scary bloke saying it to a woman, because then you could make a threat wrapped up inside it. She can't go, oh, darling.
Leave him alone!
What are you gonna do? You didn't even cock him a full English. That's why he's on his knees. He's collapsed out of lack of energy. If he had some good proper English food, he would have taken this on his feet. But she says, no, all of this is his fault. He's the one that stirred the gods. He woke the ancient powers. And she shows him Conrad himself, who for some reason was standing there ready with the baby.
Conrad!
I know, you off the tally.
Last time we met, you told me I was nothing.
True. And then you were massively based. Get off my planet.
So what do you think of me now?
She tells him that you woke the pantheon, the baby is a god. There's a lot of repetitive prose in this that we've already found out in this episode. So it's not even as if they're reminding viewers that may not have seen the previous ones what's about to happen in the finale. No, they're just repeating things from earlier in the show.
All the world below is a world I have wished.
Which we already knew. Even the evil wheelchair people told us that. But she said we needed one more thing. No god of wishes had unlimited power.
Or we'd be drowning in a universe of breast milk.
That's a good point. If a baby had the power to wish for anything, it'd just wish for Haley Atwell's knockers. That was about half the population, actually. But she needed to boost his powers, which is why she needed the Doctor and his Vindicator. She said it crisscrossed the universe, and that created a web of power, which then brought all the power here, which then fed the god. All of this was pulled out of her arse. The Vindicator was just a tracking signal. It had no power, didn't generate power, didn't harness power, didn't transmit power. Like a international GPS. It just triangulated the place.
Equivalent of...
1 billion supernovas.
What? The Doctor should have known this. That if he tracked this place, then he would send 1 billion supernovas to a planet. Probably isn't healthy for the planet, and yet apparently that's what he did. This was never set up in any episode.
He's remembering.
He isn't remembering. He didn't know this at the first place, or he wouldn't have done it. So that power was enough for her to harness and then feed the god with, which then allowed Conrad to create, essentially, the perfect utopia. I'd live there. The Doctor says you cannot wish a whole world into existence.
Exactly.
What? The episode we've just watched? Of course you can wish it into existence. We were in it.
Because you have guts.
What? That doesn't even make sense with the previous sentence. You can't wish a world into existence. But we did. Yeah, but there's holes and flaws in it, which makes doubt. So, you still wished the world into existence, which is the one thing he said you couldn't do. You didn't think this through, did you? He says, so doubts are not allowed then.
Everybody has doubts. Oh, she's got it. She's very good.
What? That's the thing that makes her least doubt. No one thinks Belinda is good. I just spelt out something and then she repeated it back to me. She's very good. She understands the English language.
The doubts are the whole point.
And why'd you stop people having them? Why'd you get police to come and arrest them, to stop them? Why'd you have cops that are like, oh no, you better remind those people not to have doubts? Why are there signs up saying, don't have doubts? If they're the point of the pissing world. He says doubts are such a beautiful thing. If you question hard enough, then doubt can crack open the world. Yeah, if it's a fake one, I guess. This all sounds like nonsense to me, mate. But then, the world does crack. We see it shake, but just in case, you're as mentally feeble as the people in this episode.
It shook. The whole palace shook.
Someone really needs to push her down a hill. We have to say everything because we can't watch the show. That's why I needed you trapped inside. I needed your doubt.
I need to tell you everything so that your doubt becomes all-consuming.
So it's important that he doubts, which is why I kind of believe that the baby might be him. Because if the baby is the timeless child, then that would make his doubt more powerful, because then it would be him creating the world and doubting his own world at the same point in time, which does seem like it would have some kind of weird effect.
Ordinary doubt cracks open the world.
Otherwise, I don't know why him doubting would be more powerful.
Than a Time Lord's doubt.
Yeah, that seems like nonsense. If they don't do the baby as the Doctor, my explanation is actually way better than anything they're going to come up with. Just be like, well, if a Time Lord doesn't believe you, that's why more powerful. There's no reason that should carry more weight. Just because you travel in time doesn't make your belief more powerful. But she wants to show him the world being destroyed. They go out onto the balcony and see it all being consumed with hellfire. Oh, I've never seen London look better. Yes, Conrad may have finally fixed London, but if Conrad's world can't exist, it probably is better that it just falls into a hell dimension.
That is not real.
Yeah, but if it was, would be funny though, wouldn't it? She says though, the palace exists as a fixed point. It's safe. Arbitrarily gonna drop that in as a line, as an excuse for, bad writing. Oh no, don't worry, it won't affect you. I don't know why. He said, why did you make a world and then split it? Well, once reality is cracked open, I can see underneath. Into the underworld. Deep within the underverse, I can find Batman. No.
The one who is lost.
Now, for a long time, I did think he who is lost just meant Rogue, because he was lost in season 1, and I still think that could be correct, that Rogue is Omega. I know he's a character from Classic Who. I know. Do you really think that they won't mess with the law? In Rings of Power, Wheel of Time, and in this, I was like, well, you can't be right there, because that goes against the law. We already know they don't care about the law. So as the world sinks into hell, sorry, no, London already was. As hell sinks into hell, unfortunately, they're not among the first to go. It's just like, tell me who it is.
Omega.
I still think it's Rogue.
Omega.
Still think it's Rogue.
The first Time Lord.
I still think it's Rogue.
The creator of the Time Lords.
I still think it's Rogue.
The most terrifying Time Lord of all.
Rogue. 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 Otherwise, why would Rogue appear on a TV to make the Doctor doubt and destroy the world? Unless Rogue was in on it to destroy the world. Maybe he's been trapped down there for millions of years and he finally snapped. But we flick through all the old Time Lords because, by God, are we going to try and make you feel nostalgic for this pile of crap? No! We've got to associate positive feelings with our negative trash. That'll make you feel better. As we go through the Doctors, including the ones you wish never were, the ones that actually don't exist and never should have returned, back to the ones that never should have existed. He remembers, I am the Doctor. Oh, Belinda. He's going to have to cleanse his palate of those memories, isn't he? Don't worry, Doctor, I got you. But he's like, I am the Doctor is me. Wait, where's the Rani gone? Where's she gone? Oh no, she left. She's defeated me by walking through a door.
You can't do this!
Yes, she can, because you were too stupid to not look for a going.
I remember!
No one cares if you remember. And so rather than giving a speech, I am this, and he's just reeling off all these titles with fire behind it. No, instead, they kick Belinda over the threshold, and the Rani springs the trap that she set up before. All the balls above him explode. I think this is a metaphor. It makes the balcony fall, and he's like, oh no, I'm on a ride. I expected him to try to do something to save himself, but he's just like, I'm falling. But don't worry, even as he's about to die, he has to get in one more slur. Sorry, no. Oh yeah, they make Belinda a good character by deleting her from history. I forgot about that bit. I was probably so happy I erased it from my memory so I could relive the enjoyment. And as everyone else sinks into the void, I do like that bit. They're like, yes, we win. He's only got dangly bits, it was inevitable.
I have a daughter!
No one believes you have a daughter.
Poppy is real!
Yes, Poppy is real. She came from space babies.
Do you know what that means?
No, because everyone in this world is real. They were just brought here by Conrad. Unless you mean that Poppy being real is his wish to bring her into this place, and so he has power with his wish inside the world of wishes. And I bet the next episode starts with him just going, I wish I wasn't going to fall into there. And he saves himself. It just immediately gets reversed. It's like, I wish I wasn't about to die. And that is part one of it. A story about wishes that didn't make any sense, where we made a perfect paradise only to destroy it and return back to London again. Conrad, once more, was proven to be the hero of the piece. The Doctor did absolutely nothing. And we destroyed the world, only for it to be inevitably reversed next week, like every pissing finale he ever does. If anyone thinks this is going to have a good conclusion, remember what happened in season 1. We need to find out who this woman is. Well, she's nobody, and that's what made her powerful. It was the fact that you believed that she would be important, why she was important. Maybe because you wished he'd get with Belinda. Experience true suffering. Once again, this episode was just full of messaging, the same as everything else. Not only did you have to believe that Ncuti could get with Belinda, but also that for some reason, the people in wheelchairs, which have the superpower of invisibility, they're really oppressed despite being too lazy to do anything about their own situation. Well, the plot didn't make sense, it contradicted itself all over the place, and had holes galore. I think we can all take comfort in the fact that the next episode may be Cutie's last ever Doctor Who appearance, and one where he has to struggle with the greatest truth of his life. That Conrad was right. Personally, I'm hoping that Rani wins. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe. More videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.